Hello, guys. Good evening. Hello, everyone.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Good evening.
Hello,
How are
teacher.
you? How are you doing today? Good?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Okay, guys, I'm glad to hear that. Well, we're going to start our first class of this level B2.3. We're going to start a new cycle today. So first, I will share the agenda with you. After the agenda, I will check the list or the attendance. Okay, so to take the attendance today. Okay, let me show you the agenda. So first, we are going to have a short feedback on the exam. So the listening, reading, writing part of the exam. Then we're going to present important information about this cycle. So the evaluation system, important dates, information about the project, and the work that you have to do in your Moodle. Okay? Then we will start Unit 5. So we will continue working in the book. We will start Unit 5. So we are going to watch a video. Then we're going to do the reading on page 46. We're going to study new vocabulary. Continue with the reading, and finally speaking activity on page 47. Okay, so that is what we have planned for today. So let's start right away. I will check the list. So I will turn off my camera while I call your names to check the attendance. Okay, let's start. Gerson Arismendi.
Hi, teacher. Present.
Hello, thank you. Jean-Claude Barrera. It's not here. Oh, yes, Jean-Claude.
Present,
Yes.
present, teacher.
Okay. Yesid Calderón.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Natalia Camargo.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Very good. Continuing. Andrés Correa.
Hi, teacher, present.
Okay. Silvia Cuellar.
Hi, teacher, present.
Okay, thank you. Elkin Fernández. Julián Figueroa.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Julián. Ginette Fontecha.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Carlos Galán.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thanks. Mabel Gamboa.
Present, teacher.
Right. Continue, José Alejandro Gómez. José Alejandro. It's not connected yet. Okay. And Lisette Tarazona.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys. Good. So let's start as we usually do. We will check the part of the exam and share the correct answers. If we have any questions or comments about the exam, now it's the time to do it, okay? Let's go and check it. So we have, can you see my screen? Here it is. Yes, can you see it?
Yes, teacher.
All right, good. So the first part, it was the listening exercise. So we had to listen to different conversations and then select the correct option to answer each question. These exercises in the level B2 are, of course, more complex because they do not require like literal information that we hear in the audio to select the answer, right? So we need to interpret the information a bit more to analyze it. So this is what happened in this first point. In the listening part, I noticed some problems in your answers or some errors in the answers. So in this, or from now on, it's important that you take notes from the listening, but then interpret the information or try to adjust it to what is being asked in the exam, right? So it's not literal, so it's not taken straight from the audio, but you have to interpret the information, analyze it, so to go a little bit further with the information that you receive, okay? So that is like my main recommendation for everyone in the listening part for this level that we start today, so B2.3 and also next B2.4 and so on, right? So let's check. The first answer, Manny is talking about his first job. How did he feel in his first job? We could answer enthusiastic, so he felt good, he felt excited, enthusiastic. Second, in the radio, what are the listeners being invited to? So we had an announcement, an advertisement for something. And this was a talk, una charla, okay? So what they are being invited to was a talk. Number 3, a woman is talking to a man about something that happened to her. And who was she? Who was she? She was a driver, okay? Number 4, the correct answer is here. So a woman is talking about her job making wildlife films. The main point when she was talking, it was worthwhile, que valía la pena, it was worthwhile spending this time preparing, okay? Okay, Elkin, hello, thank you. Let me write attendance, okay. Worthwhile spending time preparing. Number 5, it was about where is the speaker. So this was tricky or a bit more difficult because this is never mentioned, right? They describe the scene or the setting, different elements, but they never explicitly said that he was on a lake. So, of course, it was a lot more challenging in this moment. Number 6, she's talking in a shop. What does she want the shop assistant to do about her table tennis table? She wanted to have it put together, so to organize it, to assemble it for her, right? To put it together. Number 7, you hear a part of an interview with a businesswoman. And what was the business? Her business was hiring out boats, okay? Hiring out boats. Number 8, you hear a man talking on the radio. Who is he talking? Who is talking? Sorry, who is talking? It was an actor. This was the person. Okay, Jose, thank you. Let me write attendance. Okay, so remember that if you have questions, doubts while we're checking or giving feedback for the exam, please let me know. In the second part, we had a conversation about one-day archery course, okay? So here, of course, it was more difficult because the information was very fast, was spoken very, very fast, and we had to take some notes then to answer the questions. So let's check the answers. The first one was a bow, un arco, a bow made of plastic when she was a child. Number 10, only had time to read about the rules of archery. Here was mentioned history, But she said, I only had time, or she said something similar, that she didn't have enough time to read about the history. She only read the rules of archery. So this was the answer. 11, the archery course took place in a field. So you can hear different locations, but her course specifically took place in a field, in un campo, right? Number 12, Anna was surprised that learning to stand properly. De aprender a cómo pararse, ¿no? Stand. This was difficult for her. She needed to relax her shoulders. So there were other parts of the body mentioned, like hands, but the answer was shoulders. So next, number 13, went into a tree by accident. One of her arrows, una flecha, went into a tree by accident. 15, Anne was happy to look at the view, la vista. One student wrote landscapes. I accepted this answer because it's a similar meaning, but the word that was mentioned was view, okay, la vista. Number 16, TV series had inspired them to try archery. It was television shows. Then we have 17. She was excited when the class were allowed to start scoring. Okay, so to have points to score. And number 18, she tried to persuade her parents. She mentioned her friends, but who she was persuading to do the archery course with her was her parents. Okay. So this was point number 2 of the list. Okay, let's continue. Of course, now we have the text. I noticed one student mentioned that this text was quite long and had a lot of new vocabulary for you. So I think this also took a lot of your time during the exam, reading this text and finding the answers, the correct or the appropriate answers in the options. So in the first paragraph, Caitlin's main point about the island. What is the main point? That is completely cut off at certain times. Está desconectada, right? It's cut off at certain times. Number 2, what does she suggest about her father? That his son's arrival is one event he will take time off for. So he mentions that, she mentions that her father is going to take the time to wait for her brother. Yes. Next, she emphasizes her feelings of discomfort because she is upset by the unexpected change in her brother's behavior. Again, we need to interpret, to analyze the text a bit deeper in order to get the answers. Number 4, what is Caitlin's purpose in describing the island? So to express her positive feelings about the island. Number 5, because of that, in the 5th paragraph, that refers to what? To that there is nothing in particular to walk to from the island, okay? So they mention like it was weird because of that, or it was strange. That means that there was no reason or nowhere in particular that you had to walk to from the island. And number 6, what do we learn about Caitlin's reaction to the boy? That she realized her first impression of him was inaccurate, so was not exactly correct, was inaccurate. Okay, so here we have the answers. So my recommendation, I also noticed some problems here, so continue practicing, especially texts that are a bit more advanced. So you can find exercises online, like B2 level, that require a bit more of our thought process and analysis to answer, okay? This was part 1 of the reading. Now part 2. I think this was a bit easier. You had to find the correct sentence or the match to complete each paragraph. Okay, so I'm just going to share the letters, the correct answers. So 7 was B, 8, the answer was D. Write down or make it a verbal promise. Number 9 was F. Want to do this to help prepare myself for each day. Number 11 was letter C. We'll be able to evaluate. And that was it, okay? So we don't have that much time to read everything. So I will just share the correct answers with you. Okay, give me just a second here. Is Julian connected? No, he's not. Let me put that here. Record. Now let's go to the last part, the writing part. Okay, so we had to complete the sentence using different words, but not changing the word that is given, okay? So Nike is a brand that everybody knows, and the word that you received was well. Nike is a well-known brand, okay? If you wrote it without the hyphen, it's okay, I accepted it. But the correct spelling is with the hyphen included, okay? A well-known brand. Sonia's comment was really funny, but we were in a conference, so I stopped myself from laughing. And the word was keep. Here we had different answers. I could keep a straight face was the perfect answer. I could keep a straight face. We studied this expression. Some students also wrote, I could keep myself from laughing. Also correct. What was incorrect, some of you wrote, I could not keep myself from laughing. This is incorrect because it's the opposite of what is said in the sentence. Okay? Si escribimos, me pude mantener o pude retraer mi risa, estuvo bien. Si escribieron que no pudieron contener la risa, entonces la respuesta era incorrecta. Okay? I could keep a straight face or I could keep myself from laughing. Number 3, I really hate studying when I am sick. And the word was nothing. So there is nothing worse than studying. There's a mistake here on the exam in the correction part. The correct answer was this. There is nothing worse than, no hay nada peor que estudiar, studying when you are sick. Number 4, when you get older, you become less energetic. The older you get, the less energetic you become. Some of you wrote, the older get, the less energetic you become. This is incorrect. You needed to include the subject, you. Entre más viejo te haces, menos energía tienes o te conviertas en menos energético, menos activo. Less energetic you become. The older, the less. Los patrones de comparativos que estudiamos. And finally, number 5, I regret taking up smoking. Esta también nos generó algunos inconvenientes. Lamento haber empezado o tomar el hábito de fumar. Entonces, la respuesta correcta era, I wish I hadn't taken up smoking. Aquí lo ven en rojo, es un error del sistema, es la misma respuesta, yo la tomé en cuenta. I wish I hadn't taken up smoking. Algunos escriben, I wish I didn't smoke. Eso es incorrecto porque cuando usamos el tiempo pasado con wish, pasado simple, estamos hablando a futuro. I wish this didn't happen. Deseo que esto no pasara. Es decir, al futuro. Deseo o desearía no haber Eso es del pasado perfecto, del past perfect. Desearía no haber empezado a fumar. Okay? I wish I hadn't taken up smoking. Okay, Julian is back in the meeting. All right, and that was it. No, sorry, we are missing one part. The final exercise. So let's see. One day, a husband and a wife were traveling. I accepted traveling, driving, going to the countryside to visit their friends. When they realized, se dieron cuenta, o notaron, they noticed that they needed to stop for gas. The man was filling up the car when he saw a penguin standing by a pump. At first, he turned a blind eye, esta también una expresión de las que vimos, turned a blind eye, hacerse de la vista gorda, because he thought it was just his imagination. But when he looked again, it was still there. So when he went to the cashier to pay, he asked, "Why is there a penguin standing next to the pump?" The cashier replied, "I don't know. It has been there all morning." Ha estado allí. It has been there all morning. The man replied, "Well, I'll give you my opinion for what it is worth." Esta expresión también la vimos. For what it is worth. We can't leave it there. It's too dangerous. He might have an accident. What should I do? The cashier suggested you should take it to the zoo. That is a good idea, the man said. I will take him now. Es una decisión momentánea, repentina. Well, so the man and his wife put the penguin in the car and drove away. 1 week later, the cashier was wondering, se estaba preguntando, was wondering or was thinking how the penguin would be. He wished he had helped more. Deseó haber ayudado más. When suddenly he saw the man and his wife return to the garage to fill up the car. And the penguin was still in the car. When the man went to pay, the cashier said to him, "I thought you had taken the penguin to the zoo." The man replied, "Not only did I take him to the zoo," we also studied this, "not only did, but I had a really good time there. So tonight we will be taking him to a fish restaurant." The cashier just couldn't get his head around it. Also, we studied this expression. He couldn't get his head around it. Okay? So you see, we had a lot of vocabulary that we studied during classes. Expressions like to turn a blind eye, for what is worth, and to get his head around it. Okay, so that is the exam. Anyone has any questions, opinions, comments about the exam?
Teacher, in my personal opinion, I spend a lot of time in the reading part. So the last exercise, I have to do this so fast.
Quickly, yes.
Quickly. Yes, quickly is correct.
Yes, I see the text was complex and it had a lot of new vocabulary for you guys. So my recommendation is this: now it's the time to really put the effort and study and practice, because to get to B2 certification, we need to prove that our level is high level of English, right? That we have good understanding, knowledge, vocabulary, use of grammatical structures, etc. Okay, so we need to really continue with our efforts in the course, and also working outside of the class and continue practicing. Okay, so anyone else has any opinions, questions? All right, good. So let's continue. Well, now I'm going to share with you some important information. As usual, you know what is our schedule. We start at 6. And we have a little break, a short break, 7:45 to 8. And we start again at 8 till 9:50. Okay? Okay, we start level B2.3. So let's check all the important information for this level. Here you have information for our academic coordinator and the monitoring coordinator. En algunos casos, cuando ustedes requieren los correos, siempre los van a encontrar en la primera presentación de la primera clase. Allí están los correos de las dos coordinadoras para que los puedan solicitar. La asistencia, recordemos que se requiere una asistencia mínima del 80% de las clases. Nosotros registramos la asistencia diariamente en el sistema académico y se reportan casos de inasistencia a la coordinación de seguimiento. Chicos, es muy importante, ya como estamos pues muy avanzados en este proceso, en este curso, lo que menos queremos nosotros de parte del instituto y pues del programa de la gobernación es que ustedes se retiren, que sí, no puedan continuar. Esto es lo que menos queremos nosotros. Entonces, si tienen alguna actividad, no sé, del trabajo, un viaje o se les fue la luz, entonces no pierdan esa como oportunidad, obviamente con los soportes necesarios, pero de pedir la excusa o de presentar la excusa ante la coordinación de la coordinadora Nancy y pues ella les dirá si es válido o no, pero no perdamos esa oportunidad. No sé, me cayó el internet, bueno, yo me desconecto y no pasa nada. No, chicos, es importante que tengamos esa excusa porque ustedes nunca saben cuándo pueda ocurrir alguna otra cosa y no puedan asistir a la clase, entonces ya se les van acumulando las fallas. Siempre que tengan pues, la excusa válida, intenten solicitar la asistencia, ¿ok? Bueno, nuestra información, la profe Sandy, ahí está mi correo también. Las fechas importantes para este ciclo 12, nivel B2.3, iniciamos hoy 24 de julio y finaliza el 9 de agosto. Tenemos receso del 10 al 14 de agosto, ¿ok? Descansamos, vamos a ver, el 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Volveríamos el 15 de agosto, ¿ok? Ok, bueno, en cuanto a la evaluación, recordemos que se evalúa de 0 a 5, se aprueba con 3.6. Recuerden que por la naturaleza de este programa no tenemos actividades de recuperación, de repetición de nivel, sino, pues, o por eso nosotros hacemos énfasis en las actividades, estamos recordándoles del Moodle, de las actividades de quizzes, pues para que no nos dejemos como, sí, retrasar en nuestras actividades y que después no alcancemos a llegar a la nota, pues por cosas que se pudieron haber evitado con el trabajo diario. Bueno, quiero hacerles una recomendación, no se los había comentado en los niveles anteriores, pero ya en este nivel lo veo pues necesario porque hubo algunos estudiantes que tuvieron varias fallas en las actividades. Entonces, digamos que últimamente en este nivel o en el nivel anterior, últimos 2 o 3 niveles, la coordinación ha sido un poco más flexible con aquello de las excusas y las insistencias. Entonces, que ustedes falten a la clase y les pongan una excusa, esto está en la parte de asistencia. No significa que tenemos excusa también para la actividad. Entonces, como no vine, entonces no la hago y me ponen buena nota. No. Cuando ustedes no asisten a la clase, es muy importante y es su responsabilidad adelantarse en esas actividades. ¿Cómo pueden hacer esto? Consultando la grabación o incluso preguntándole a las profesoras, a los docentes, qué actividades realizaron. Nosotras con mucho gusto les vamos a comentar, les enviamos el link. Lo que sí no vamos a hacer es estar detrás de los estudiantes, oye, fulanito, sutanito, por favor, completa la actividad. No, porque es su responsabilidad. Si faltan a la clase, a la sesión, adelantarse en las actividades. Entonces, ustedes saben que la nota de quizzes en este curso tiene un valor del 40%. Entonces, es bastante alto el valor que tiene el trabajo en clase en el curso. ¿Ok? Cada actividad que no realicen es una actividad calificada en 0. Entonces ya se imaginarán el promedio de esa nota de quizzes si tenemos 2 o 3 actividades que no realizamos durante el ciclo. ¿Ok? Entonces, para que lo tengan muy en cuenta, ya con la información compartida con ustedes, vamos a ser mucho más estrictas, la profesora Andy y yo, en esto. ¿Ok? Bueno, como les mencionaba, el sistema de evaluación, los porcentajes, el 40% de quizzes, trabajos en clase, conversaciones, y escritos, todo lo que hacemos en clase va a este 40%, trabajo virtual de Moodle 10%, el avance del proyecto 20%, escucha, lectura, escritura y habla, cada uno tiene el 7.5% de la nota. ¿Listo? Entonces, si alguien tiene preguntas mientras vamos presentando la información, por favor me lo hacen. Este nivel vamos a trabajar continuamos con el libro, Bloque Cutting Edge Advanced, unidades 5, 6 y 7. Entonces, en este ciclo vamos a manejar 3 unidades. Las fechas importantes para este ciclo, el tercer avance del proyecto se entrega el 8 de agosto, el examen final es el 9 de agosto y el receso del 10 al 14 de agosto. ¿Ok? Bueno, ahora en cuanto al proyecto, vamos a ver el tercer avance. Antes de ver el avance, quiero hacerles una recomendación. Es para algunos estudiantes, porque la mayoría lo hizo muy bien y revisó los avances que habían entregado, las correcciones, pero también hubo casos en los cuales los estudiantes subieron el documento original que me entregaron en la primera versión, añadiéndole solo un párrafo o dos. Chicos, si yo hago una revisión, yo leo todos los archivos que me envían, les comento, les sugiero que cambien esto, o si hay algunos errores, las correcciones son para hacerlas, para implementarlas. Entonces, a esos chicos que ya les había hecho unas correcciones, en el segundo avance les escribe, ya hice esta corrección y no la realizaste. Entonces, deben ir al primer avance, referirse a este y ver cuál era esa corrección. No la volví a escribir porque es básicamente pues perder el tiempo copiando y pegando algo que ya se había corregido. Entonces, obviamente eso también les afectó la nota. Algunos creo que lo vieron reflejado en la nota del proyecto, el avance del proyecto. Súper importante para este tercer avance que tomen en cuenta estas observaciones que se hacen, estos comentarios, pues para que no, sí, no perdamos el tiempo ni ustedes ni yo, para que hacemos una corrección si no se va a tener en cuenta, ¿ok? Entonces ahí van a encontrar en esta diapositiva la carpeta del primer avance y la carpeta del segundo avance, para que cada uno pues vea su archivo y tenga en cuenta los comentarios. ¿Listo? Vamos a ver el tercer avance, el formato del tercer avance, vamos a compartirlo. Mañana se los envío para que ustedes ya lo tengan en el correo y sepan cuáles son las fechas. Entonces, clase número 1, hoy se va a compartir con ustedes la información. El 3 de agosto, que es la clase número 8, se va a realizar ese pequeño feedback, revisión durante la clase, durante parte de la clase. El 8 de agosto lo deben subir. Dice, students have to upload their slideshow. Deben subir sus diapositivas, no PDF formats, por favor, sin formatos PDF. Canva, PowerPoint, Prezi, cualquiera que se pueda editar y hacer comentarios, no formato PDF. Y la clase número 10, 9 de agosto, recibirán la nota, las observaciones, con su nota para este tercer avance del proyecto. Bueno, chicos, quiero aclarar algo que he visto en algunos trabajos. Al hablar de un tema controversial, pues es como a lo que tendemos es a incluir solo como argumentos para soportar nuestro punto de vista, ¿no? Entonces, me voy todo a favor o todo en contra. Tengamos en cuenta que esto, el formato es tipo ensayo, en el cual debemos incluir información de ambas partes. Argumentos a favor y argumentos en contra. Entonces, eso es lo que yo estaba revisando en este nivel, en el segundo avance. ¿Por qué les menciono esto? Porque en el cuarto nivel es cuando yo voy a revisar sus opiniones y sus conclusiones. Entonces, la estructura es básicamente una introducción, por qué es controversial, dónde se origina, bueno, información general, algunos argumentos a favor. Entonces, algunas personas mencionan esto a favor, en cambio otras están en contra por X, Y o Z. ¿Listo? Eso es lo que vamos a incluir en la presentación del tercer avance del proyecto. Unas diapositivas en las cuales tengamos información resumida, palabras clave, títulos, imágenes. Si quieren incluir algún video corto de 20 segundos, 30 segundos, porque su presentación debe ser de máximo 3 o 4 minutos, no podemos extenderlos demasiado. Entonces, si quieren incluir un video, no es necesario, no es obligatorio. ¿Qué debemos incluir? El tema, como su pequeña introducción, las razones por las cuales es controversial, cuándo, por qué sucede, cómo sucede, y los argumentos a favor y en contra. ¿Listo? Su opinión o las conclusiones que vayan a sacar todavía no las vamos a revisar. Eso lo hacemos en el cuarto nivel. En el siguiente nivel ya ustedes incluirán sus opiniones y sus conclusiones. ¿Listo? Entonces, no sé si está claro, si tienen alguna pregunta.
Teacher, estaba revisando sobre las fechas que no me quedaron claras. La del avance, la de la entrega del avance es el 8 de agosto, ¿verdad?
¿Mm? El
Ah,
8,
ok.
sí.
Y el 9 es el examen del ciclo.
El 9 es el examen, ¿sí? Entonces este ya es el último día, nosotros tratamos de revisarles pues antes de que se termine el ciclo y si no, ese día siguiente tendrán ya la nota de las observaciones y pues la nota del tercer avance. ¿Sí? La entrega es el 8, la clase 9. La voy a poner acá en este color para que sepan cuando ya les envíe el documento. ¿Listo? ¿Alguna otra pregunta? ¿Listo? Perfecto. Bueno, entonces ahora ya vamos a continuar con el trabajo de Moodle. Les recuerdo el acceso al Moodle, creo que ya está el grupo asignado para ustedes. B2.3, grupo 1, Julio, ya está habilitado, entonces pueden empezar a trabajar. Los 5, 6 y 7 pueden empezar a trabajar en Moodle. En la presentación encuentran los enlaces al sistema académico, a Moodle, a mis diapositivas, también se las compartí al correo. Y bueno, esa sería como la información general del curso. No sé si tienen alguna pregunta, duda antes de iniciar.
Sí, una pregunta. ¿Esta diapositiva
Dime.
ya está cargada
No, no la he
para
cargado.
consultar?
No, no porque la diapositiva yo la cargo cuando se acabe la clase porque a veces no alcanzamos a hacer todo, entonces yo como que la borro, sí, la edito un poquito antes de subirla cuando ya termine esta clase. Entonces, esta noche la subo, si no mañana en la mañana.
Ok,
¿Listo?
gracias.
Okay. Okay, guys, so we can start. I think there are no more questions. We can start with our class for today on Unit 5. So, Unit 5, the title is How You Come Across. So, do you know what this expression means? To come across a certain way? No idea? I come across as a funny person, or you come across as a serious person, very polite or very outgoing. Okay, so what do you think it means? How you come across? No?
No, teacher.
We can say it's like the image that you project to others, okay? So you can say, you come across as very intelligent. La impresión que das es de ser una persona muy inteligente, okay? You come across as an intelligent person. This is like the perception that others have of you, how they perceive you, or the image that you reflect to others, okay? So this is, of course, related to the topics on Unit 5 is so polite social behavior, about image, about communication. So everything is related to accepted behaviors, etiquette, manners, and image that you project, and so on. Okay? So this is what we're going to start working on today is about social behavior and difference in cultures about what is considered polite or what is considered as rude or not very polite. Okay, so the first activity that we're going to do is very interesting. It's a video that talks about shocking norms around different cultures, okay, in different parts of the world. I don't know if you have had any experience with people from other countries and some of their customs, norms that were shocking, surprising for you. If you want to share, please raise your hand. Think about, have you had any experience with people from other countries, with their culture, something that looks surprising for you, weird, strange? No? All right, that's okay, no problem. So we're going to watch a video. So after we watch it, I want to hear your opinions. What are the norms or the costumes that you find most shocking, that are the most strange for you? Okay, so this is the link for the activity. You're going to watch it individually. The video is 7 minutes long, so you are going to answer as you watch the video. Okay, so pay attention, and by the end of the video, I want to hear your opinion. What is the most shocking or strange norm for you? Okay, in your opinion. Okay, let's take 7 minutes to watch the video and answer the questions. Right, guys, did you finish watching the video? Okay, one more minute. Right? Ready? Yes, guys, have you finished?
Not yet, teacher. All right, guys, very good. So now I want to hear your opinion. Which custom or norm in each country do you find most interesting or shocking?
Or number 4?
Okay, Elkin? Okay, can you tell me about it? What did you find shocking or interesting?
In Lebanon, there aren't rules for traffic rules, excuse me. And
Mhm.
in Colombia, I think that it's impossible because only in Bucaramanga we have a lot of traffic, and between 8 o'clock a.m. to 10 or 12 o'clock or 11, excuse me, o'clock. And the traffic is terrible, and every day when you are trying to um, come or arrive to your work very early, you finish and arrive your work very late
Yes, the
because of
traffic
traffic.
jam. Traffic
Traffic
jams are
jam.
terrible. Imagine if we didn't have the rules like Lebanon or some countries in that part of the world. It was chaotic. All the streets. All right, thank you. Yes, Carlos, I see your hand.
Yes, teacher, for me, the most atypical item or number is 9 or 10 when in Bali postpone funerals
Yes.
until the people have money. Is very atypical for me because
Yes.
the conservation of the right person is difficult.
Yes, I imagine this. They said that they bury them without any ceremony or try to maintain the bodies even months after the death, so they have enough money to pay for the funeral. I think this is kind of, I don't know, like superficial, right? So you just prove to your community that you have a lot of money to pay for funerals. I don't know. It's kind of a weird tradition for me too. Thank you, Carlos. Yes, Andres?
Okay, teacher, in my case, it's curious or strange that, for example, in certain place in England, people can be drunk and drink in public places because generally in European countries this is prohibited or this is forbidden. Yes,
It's forbidden.
yeah.
Yes, in this country, Britain, the UK, alcohol is very common and even accepted, yeah, to drink on the streets and to be drunk on the streets. Uh-huh. Okay, thank you, Andres. Very good. All right, guys. Excellent. So you can see different cultures or countries have what they consider to be correct or polite and what they think it's incorrect. We're going to start in the book on page 46 and 47, page 46. First, we're going to read this short text that we have, and then we're going to discuss the questions here. Let's read the questions and then we start reading. Okay, what is Faway Community School doing? What do you think of this idea? And do you know anything similar in schools in your country? So let's read and then we answer the questions. Maybe Lisette, you can read this short paragraph, please.
Okay. A Cornish school is giving teenage boys lessons in the art of etiquette, something you might expect at an exclusive private school, perhaps, but Fowey Community School is a state comprehensive. Male pupils from the school have started a 6-month course to learn key skills such as personal grooming, table manners, and how to greet a lady. Female pupils at the school complain about the rudeness, bad language, and personal hygiene of their male peers, but the boys are taking the lessons surprisingly seriously, spurred on no doubt by the hope that it might help create the right impression with girls. Their head teacher, John Perry, however, has other motives. He believes that along with good academic qualifications, it will also help them to impress their future employers.
All right, good. So let's read one more time and we will check any new words that we have. A Cornish school is giving teenage boys lessons in the art of etiquette, something that you might expect at an exclusive private school, perhaps, but Fowey Community School is a state comprehensive. Male pupils from the school have started a 6-month course to learn key skills such as personal grooming. Do you know what this means, personal grooming?
No, teacher.
No, this is or referring to your shower, using deodorant, like to brush your teeth, to maintain your hair organized, clean. All of this is like personal grooming. Okay? How can you say in Spanish?
Aseo personal.
Yes, aseo personal. Yes. Table manners, modales en la mesa, table manners, and how to greet a lady. Female pupils at the school complain about rudeness, bad language, and personal hygiene of their male peers. But the boys are taking these lessons surprisingly seriously. Spurred on. What do you think it is? Spurred on. Spurred on, no doubt, by the hope that it might help create the right impression with girls. Hmm? What do you think this means? Spurred on. Based on the text. No, they are taking the lesson seriously, no doubt by the hope that it might help them create the right impression with girls. In Spanish, we can say alentados, ¿no? Spurred on. Alentados, sin duda, por la esperanza, by the hope that this might help to create the right impression with the girls. The teacher, however, has other motives. He believes that along with good academic qualifications, this will also help them to impress future employers. Okay? So now let's answer the questions. I will give you 2 minutes to read again if you need and find the answers for these 3 questions. What is Fowey Community School doing? What do you think of this idea? Do you know of anything similar in schools in your country? So I'll give you 2-3 minutes to think about your answers and then we will socialize. Okay? Okay, let's answer the question. So let's start, for example, Sylvia, with the first question. What is Fowe Community School doing?
Teacher, they are doing a course for males, a
Mm-hmm.
6-month course to learn key skills like personal grooming, table manners, and how to greet a lady,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yes, this is
behavior towards lady, yes.
yes, this is correct. Okay, now continue with Julian. The second question. What do you think of this idea?
Okay, teacher. I think that it could be a good idea because and they learn to their students to do to have a good behavior from another people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a good
Yes,
things,
it's
but
a good initiative. Yes, very good. And the last one, I will make the question open for anyone. Do you know about anything that's similar to this in any schools or courses here in our country?
I don't know, teacher. I think maybe in private schools, but in public
Yes,
schools,
it's not
no,
very
I've
common.
never heard.
Yes,
Yes.
Natalia?
Teacher, I don't know, but in the past, the schools taught a similar class. For example, my parents learn about etiquette and
Yeah,
good behavior, but in this moment, yeah,
not so
I know.
much.
Oh,
It's not very common now. Yes, you see?
Teacher, maybe in convent schools,
Mm-hmm.
this school teach about personal grooming,
Mm-hmm.
maybe in that school, but or maybe in private school,
Yes,
but
it's more
in
common.
public school, never.
Yes. Well, I remember my mom was a teacher and she worked in a Catholic school. And in this school, it was a public school, but it was like Catholic with priests and nuns, and they taught the kids to have a like a comb on their pocket, and they always had to have a good hair. They had a tissue, pañuelo. They always carried this, and they had to be like very polite. So some schools, I think this is still done in Catholic schools, or yeah, more traditional, I would say, schools. Not so much on like public schools, normal. I don't think so. All right, excellent, guys. Now we are going to continue with the vocabulary part. We're going to check the meaning of the words. Uh, First, I will share with you, and then after we read them, we're going to underline three that can be used to describe polite behavior. Okay? So let's first check the meaning of these words or some of these words, and then we can underline them. So let's start reading. Jose, can you read the first definition, please?
Yes, teacher, over the top to an excessive or exaggerated degree.
When something is over the top, it's excessive or is to an exaggerated degree. Okay, continue, please, Jean-Claude. Can you read the second?
Yes, teacher. Revolting, causing intense disgusting.
Yes, revolting is a synonym of disgusting. Okay. Next, Carlos, please read the next. Overly familiar.
Yes, teacher. Overly familiar, behaving or speaking in an inappropriate, informal way.
Behaving or speaking in an appropriately informal way. You can say here in the picture, like overly friendly or familiar. It's inappropriate, very informal. Elkin, can you read the next, please? Not the done thing.
Not the done thing. Not socially acceptable.
This is a very British expression. This is not the done thing. So this is not socially acceptable. It's not the costume for everyone. Okay, not the done thing. Continue. Lisette. Next, a turn off.
A turn off, a person or thing that causes someone to feel bored, disgusted, or sexually repelled.
Yes, this expression, a turn off, you can use in normal context, like when someone makes you feel bored or you don't like it anymore, maybe a little disgusted, you can say, oh, that is a turn off. But it is also very commonly used in maybe more romantic or sexual contexts. Like, for example, you are meeting a boy or a girl and you find out that they do certain things that you don't like. So you can say, oh no, that is for me is a turn off. For example, that they, what can you say? I cannot think of anything right now. So, for example, they don't cut their nails very often. For example, or they have dirty nails. You can say, oh no, that is a turn off for me. Like, you don't like it, makes you very disgusted, and it's also used in this context more romantic or sexual. Okay. And then we have pushy. What is pushy? Natalia, can you read the definition, please?
Okay, teacher. Pushy, a person that tries in a forceful way to get things done as they would like or to increase their status, yeah, or influence.
A pushy person is like someone that tries very forcefully, very hard to get things done as they would like. Okay, so they impose their opinion on everyone very harshly. This is a pushy person. Okay, very intense person, pushy. Then Sylvia, can you read the next definition? Taboo.
Taboo. Prohibited or restricted by social custom.
Social custom. And the last one, you see it?
Hey, teacher, rowing, noisy disturbance, commotion. We couldn't hear the music for the row next door.
The row next door. Okay, so this word, row or row, it's curious because it has two different pronunciations. Row, okay? Two different pronunciations according to their definition. Let's see if I can have it here. So first is row.
Row.
Okay, row. This is a line, different things in a row. But also we have the word
Row.
Okay, here it changes. Let me show you. Row here, I think.
Row.
You see, row. So when we talk about a boat, la acción de remar, to row,
Row.
the pronunciation is row.
Row.
But when we say row,
Row. Row.
okay, a noisy argument or fight, una pelea, okay, ruidosa, sí, una discusión ruidosa is a row, okay? So the pronunciation changes according to the meaning of the word, okay? All right, guys, now that we have clarified some of the vocabulary, you're going to have some minutes to read all these expressions, words, and phrases, and you're going to select and underline 3 that can be used to describe polite behavior, okay? So good, polite behavior. I'll give you a couple of minutes 3 or 4 minutes, and then we will socialize your answers in this part. All right, guys? Ready? Let's check your answers. So, for example, Jeanette, which sentences did you select that can be used to describe polite or good behavior?
Yes, teacher. I put it creates a good impression.
It creates a good impression.
It's a way of showing respect to older people. And it's considered gentlemanly.
Yes, it's considered gentlemanly. These are the three. The others, thank you, Jeanette. The others are more negative, like sexist, not a done thing, is a turnoff, unhygienic, unprofessional, pushy, offensive, misinterpreted, and taboo. Yes, so these are the correct answers. Very good. Now we're going to continue in this topic. Next, we have another reading activity, so it's called Is It the Right Thing to Do? Before we read, I want to show you some pictures of images so to know if you remember or you know how these actions are called, okay? So here we have these actions that are mentioned. I want to check if you remember, if you know what they are called in English. Okay, so let's do that and then we will read. Name the actions. Okay, so if you know, you can write it on the chat. Let's see who can answer first. So this is the first action. You can write it the name on the chat. What is this action name? Is it laughing? Is it crying? Is it talking? Okay, what is the action? Okay, yes, it says disrespectful. Yes, but this is not an action. I'm looking for the action, the verb. Listen, it says yell, scream. Yes, they are similar. Yell, scream, particularly shout, okay, or shouting. These three mean the same. Yell, scream, or shout. Good. Next, we have this. Do you know the name of this action? Yes, Natalia and Silvia, sneeze. Estornudar, to sneeze or sneezing. Good, next. This one. This is to cough. Yes, you see it? Cough. Next. Okay, this is a bit more difficult. So, what are they doing? Kissing, but kissing where? Kissing in public. Yes, this is to kiss in public. So to kiss, cuddle in public. What do you guys consider this? Is this rude, or normal? Like to kiss, to hug in public, in front of other people?
I think it's a little rude.
Yes, a little?
Depends.
So one thing is like to kiss, a very small kiss, and other thing is like a very intense kiss, right? Or maybe
Yes.
I don't know, like inappropriate hugs, let's say. It depends on the thing, yeah. Next action, let's see. Okay, he's doing like this. Do you know the name of that action in English? This is sniffing. Like the dogs sniff the ground where they are in the grass. This is like a sniff. This action with your nose is called sniff. So this is what he is doing, sniffing. Okay, then here we have this action, like do this. Do you know the name for this? To do this to another person? No idea. This is to pat. To pat on the back. This is like a little pat. Okay, that's the name. A pat on the back. Okay, this one. What the baby is doing. This is contagious. You see it and then you want to do the same. Do you know the name of this in English? Yes, Lisette. Yawn. Very good. Or yawning. To yawn or yawning. Okay, I think that's the last. Okay, no. We have two more. So this one, how do you say in English? To say bad words. Insult, yes, could be to insult, but insult is more like towards another person, to insult another person. This in general, we say cursing or swearing. Very good, Silvia. Swearing or cursing, como maldecir. Swearing or cursing, it's decir groserías. Okay. And finally, we have this. Do you know the name for this?
Whistle?
Yes, good. The name of this is whistle or whistling. Okay? Very good. So these are some of the actions that are mentioned in this text. Is it the right thing to do? So we're going to read it together, and then after we read, we're going to answer these questions, decide this, okay? So let's read them together, and then we read the instructions. Andres, can you read the first two, please? Standing up and then.
Okay, teacher. Standing up when a boss, guest, etc. enters or leaves the room.
So
Men
here,
open. Okay,
continue, sorry.
right. Men opening doors for women and helping them to take off and put on their coats.
Good. So now you can start thinking, is this the correct thing to do? To stand up when a boss or a guest enters the room or leaves? Do you think this is right or no? Men opening doors for women and helping them to take off their coats, their jackets, and to put them on. Is this the right thing to do or not? You can start thinking about it. Carlos, please read the next two, calling and dropping.
Okay, teacher. Calling people you don't know very well by their first name. And next, dropping in at someone's house without being invited.
Dropping in, so arriving at someone's house without being invited. Elkin, please read the next two, doing things and asking people.
Doing things on your phone when you are socializing with other people. Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, continue with the next. Asking.
Okay, asking people how much they earn or how old they are.
Okay. Asking how much they earn or how old they are. Jeanette, please read the next two. A man paying for a woman, coughing, sniffing.
A man paying for a woman's meal and drinks. And coughing,
Coughing.
sneezing, or yawning without putting your hand over your mouth.
Okay, good. Jean-Claude, please read the next two. Touching people and shouting.
Okay, teacher. Touching people when you talk to them. Example, yes.
Yes.
Patting them on the back or putting your arm around them. and shouting, roaring, or holding loud conversations in public places.
In public places. Remember, I told you about the difference in pronunciation. So this, in this case, is not rowing, but rowing. Okay, refers to like shouting, fighting, loud conversation. So it's rowing. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Gerson, please read the next two: swearing and man.
Okay, teacher. Swearing or blaspheming in formal situations such as a meeting, and men whistling or shooting comments at women they find attractive.
Men whistling or shouting comments at women they find attractive. Jose, next two: couples and arriving.
Yes, sure. Couples kissing and cuddling in public, and arriving half an hour late to a social engagement without a good reason.
Good. And Julian, the last one, please.
Phoning people after 10 o'clock in the evening.
Phoning people after 10 o'clock in the evening. Now we're going to answer these three questions, this social behavior. So you're going to select which of these are always acceptable, so they are good, which ones are never acceptable. We also have some depend on people's ages or the social context. For example, arriving late, I would say it depends on the age, the context. So if you're with friends or at work, and this is the right way to behave in these situations. Okay. So, for example, for me, men whistling or shouting comments at women, it's never acceptable. But asking people how much they earn or their age, I would say it depends on people's ages and the context that they are in. If you're close friends or it's a close acquaintance, you can ask these questions, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to give you these last 10 minutes of the class to get in groups and to discuss which ones do you think. Okay, so I will be listening to your discussions, and if we can socialize at the end, we will do it. If not, we will socialize tomorrow, okay? But I will send you to two big groups, and I want to hear everyone giving their opinion. What do you think, okay? So let's create two groups. Is there any student connected to both devices? Yes, I think. One, two. Okay, let's go to the breakout rooms.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, guys. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Okay. How can we start? We read each one and we give our opinion, or what do you think?
Yes, yes, if you want. For
I
me
can read
too.
the first one if you like. Standing up when a boss guest enters or leaves the room. I think it's the right way to behave in this situation. It's a respectful way of behavior.
Yes, I agree. For me, not only for the boss, also is the correct way to show respect for all people, independent is the boss or whatever person. Is the correct form to give a saludo, se me olvidó el nombre.
Yes, yes, I agree. For me, it's the best way to show respect to a person or the boss.
Yes, I think that it is a good behavior that we could do every time to show respect. And
Okay, we can continue with the next one if you like.
Okay.
If you, someone can read.
Person, if, for example, to a meet uh, is as a table that you put standing up.
Okay, in this case, is always acceptable, no? Right?
Yeah, for me, ever
Yes.
is as a table. For you,
And the second, men opening doors for women and helping them to take off. I think it's always
It's good.
acceptable.
I don't know. I think yes.
Yes, it's
Or
the right
I
thing to
don't.
do.
I don't think like it's something that you have to do it,
I,
but I think it's something that I don't know. Like it's something that you have to do it with everyone, not only with women. So I think it's something about I don't know the word like respeto,
Gentleman.
respect, gentle,
yes,
yes,
Gentleman, easily.
and
gentlemen. Or okay, it is always acceptable. Fair. Calling people you don't know.
Okay, I think everyone is coming back to the meeting. All right, guys. I know it was a short time for you to socialize all of them. I just wanted for you to get some conversation with your classmates tomorrow. So we will finish this part. I will ask you individually. So what do you think about each situation, right? Is it a good thing to do? Is never acceptable, or it depends on the context and people's ages and everything, okay? So we will socialize our answers tomorrow at the beginning of our class, okay?
That is all for
Okay.
today,
Okay,
guys.
teacher.
Okay,
Thank
teacher.
you.
Bye bye. See
thank
you
you.
tomorrow.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher.